Born on May 19th, 1925, in Omaha, Nebraska, Malcolm X was a child of 8 children to his mother, Lewis, a homemaker, and Earl Little, a preacher. Malcolm encountered racism before even being born. KKK members would numerously harass the family. It was up until the point where the family moved, having even more racist attacks upon them. It wouldn't end until the death of his father and mother that would drive Malcolm to move away. As a youth, Malcolm was a troubled boy who got into a world of drugs and violence. Upon one night, he was charged with larceny and was sentenced to 10 years in jail. Throughout the time spent, he read books to make up for the times he missed in school. Also, while in prison, he was visited by members of the Nation of Islam, a small group of black Muslims who idealized the freedom of justice and equality for all black Americans. Upon his release, Malcolm converted to the Nation of Islam and changed his last name from Little, which he considered this a relic of slavery, to X, tribute to the unknown name of his African ancestors. Having converted, he insisted the leader of the Nation of Islam to spread the movement and its ideals amongst black Americans nationwide. Malcolm was passionate, gifted, and an inspirational orator as a minister of temples. He had blacks block off racism by any means necessary, including violence. Due to his efforts, the Nation of Islam went from 400 members to his release in 1952 to 40,000 members by 1960. He was leading a more radical revolution rather than Dr. Martin Luther King's peaceful vision. 1963, Malcolm X became dramatized of how his mentor and the leader of the Nation of Islam broke many of his teachings. This led him to exit the Nation of Islam in 1964. The same year, he made a trip to North Africa and the Middle East that would change him politically and spiritually. He learned to place the civil rights movement in the same place as global anti-colonial struggle. This advocated socialism on Pan-Africanism. Malcolm also made the Hajj, a traditional pilgrimage to Mecca, and thus changing his name to El-Maj Malik el-Shabazz. Soon returning to the U.S. to spread his ideals, Malcolm was unfortunately assassinated on February 21st, 1965, on point-blank range of a shotgun shot. Malcolm had not experienced any injustice, but he did create some at his early years when he decided to steal from others and went to jail. Malcolm X changed society by leading blacks and giving them a voice who stood up for the other African Americans throughout America and spoke what was right and just for their kind, by any means necessary.